Now we've added our player, our vehicle, and our obstacle to our scene, but now we really want to get a lens of our player and understand their perspective. So we can actually do that using our camera. If you go to the hierarchy on the left side of Unity, select your main camera by clicking on it, you can see that now we have the camera selected. This very large rectangle pops up, and on the bottom right, we can actually see our camera preview. In fact, if I deselect the camera, the preview goes away, and if I select the camera again, the preview comes back. So the preview is actually what we can see of what the player will see in our game. And in fact, that preview is entirely mapped to this huge rectangle that we can see in our scene. And so this is very helpful to see and understand what the player sees. Our camera actually controls what we see in our game view. So, in fact, if I go to the top of Unity and I press the play button, you can see that our scene view changes to this view here, which is our game view. In fact, in the center, the two tabs are side by side right next to each other. So, in our game view, you can see that if I try and click on our vehicle here, nothing will happen. I can still select the vehicle in the hierarchy, however, nothing changes here. Versus if I go to my scene, you can see that our vehicle's back there. If I select the move tool, I can move our vehicle again. And then in the game view, you can see that our vehicle actually moved a little bit. So maybe if I go in the transform component, if I press like 5, okay, cool. So the vehicle is moving. That's interesting. Now, the one thing about play mode is, so this is how we test how our different objects interact in our world, how our player can, for example, control our vehicle. Since I made changes to our vehicle in our scene view, in fact, if I press the play button again, so I stop the play mode, our vehicle actually moves back. Let's see if I can test that again. We'll go straight into the scene view this time by clicking on it, and I'll just move the vehicle back somewhere to like maybe like 10-ish or so. And then I press play again. Our vehicle snaps backwards. So play mode doesn't actually save if we change anything about any of our objects, but our play mode and our game view is really helpful. So when we're testing out how our player actually plays and experiences the game, we can see that in the game view versus in our scene view, where we go to set up our objects, position our vehicles, move our obstacles in our scene, and interact with them that way to create a layout for our environment. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your hierarchy, select your camera. You can see the camera. And then if you want to go into your play mode, you can press the play button and it'll go into your game view. In fact, you can use Control or Command P to actually exit play mode. And if you press that again, Control or Command and the P key, it'll go back in. And so you can see what your player will see when they're actually in the game. Now it's your turn.